Hello and good morning. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Guys, this is the channel that brings you your daily Rangers update, your team every single day. And if you want that news, if you need that news, if you need your daily fix of Rangers, then hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you set the bell to all, it will always remind you when there is a new video up, a breaking news video, a live stream, a podcast, whatever we bring you guys. We don't charge you anything for that to bring you all that latest news. So please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you can give the video a like, guys, I would appreciate it. Well, it's a crazy time of the year, isn't it? We are kind of in that silly season now. There's still obviously 3 games to go. With Rangers obviously meeting Hibernian at Easter Road on Sunday, and we'll talk a little bit about that later in the video. And then obviously following up games against Hearts, the final home game obviously against Hearts on Wednesday night, which would be fantastic under the floodlights, and finishing away at St Mirren. But it's silly season, isn't it? It's crazy season. It's all gone a bit mental when it comes to transfer links to, who's coming to Rangers, who's leaving Rangers, what the situation is with players under contract, those players who were out of contract. Obviously we had a fantastic interview yesterday with James Bisgrove on Rangers TV, which really impressed at James Bisgrove. Go back and check out the video I did yesterday on that, about talking about what James Bisgrove had to say about the future of the club. Let's start off a little bit of bad news to do with Rangers. Yes, Rangers are locked in yet another legal battle. This one worth £338,000 over a kiosk payment system. You know what? I really hope that the new board, that John Bennett, James Bisgrove, can keep us and steer us away from all these legal troubles that we seem to have. It's all over apparently to do with payment methods and companies been owed cash by Rangers because of card payments and different payments at the club. To do with Sporting Pay and Paytech, apparently are alleging Rangers are owed cash for use of card payment devices throughout Ibrox Stadium. Just again another legal dispute. So I really do hope that James Bisgrove, that John Bennett, and this board can clear up this mess that we seem to be getting ourselves in and steer us away from this silly mess. Anyway, let's get away from that boring financial stuff and legal battles and whatever. Now, it is. Do you know what? I talked about Jack Butland yesterday. I've talked about Jack Butland before. The Jack Butland situation is getting utterly ridiculous now. Day to day, it just changes. It changes from yes, he's coming, to no, he's not, to yes, there's a stumbling block, to he wants too much money, to money's not an issue, to yes, he'll be in Glasgow soon. Yes, it's advanced. No, it's not advanced. Back, forth. Guys, my head's spinning. Head is spinning. My head is button spinning. It just seems utterly crazy, this whole situation over Jack Butland. The latest news, the latest update on Jack Butland is the fact that apparently Manchester United are interested in keeping hold of Jack Butland as a backup goalkeeper to David De Gea, and are prepared to offer him double his wages to stay at Manchester United next season. Now, if that is the case, obviously, we cannot match his wages. That's just not possible. Rangers don't have the financial power to compete with the likes of Manchester United anymore. We can't obviously go out there and match the wages that United offer. But obviously, I suppose the selling point would be that there's a 99% certainty that rightly or wrongly we'd be offering him first team football, which he obviously won't get at Manchester United. He will be sitting behind David De Gea, the Spanish international keeper, David De Gea. So it's all a bit of a mess again, absolute mess. Now, there is seemingly, Robbie McCrory has been utterly brilliant. And personally, my personal opinion is I'd love to see Robbie given the opportunity to impress. I'd love to see Robbie given the opportunity to play. I think Robbie does deserve the opportunity at that slot at the number one. And I think, he'll obviously play the last 3 games of this season. And, I'd love to see him next season come in as our number one. But I do think we need to sign another keeper. I think we need to bring in some competition for him, because you find, when you bring in competition, when there is competition for places, when there are 2 players pushing each other, the standards rise. When it's 2 dogs, 1 bone, you tend to find that the strongest dog will come out on top. And that's what you need at the club. You need that 2 dogs, 1 bone kind of philosophy, to throw in there that bone and say, right, fight over that bone, guys. Bad analogy, I know, but that's what we're going for. We need that kind of fight, and Robbie McCrory needs to be pushed for that place. Now, obviously, Alan McGregor is going. John McLaughlin looks like he's on his way out as well. There is, I think, a need to bring in that goalkeeper. Obviously, Ivan Panda of Fortuna Sittard was linked with the club at the start of the week. That seems to have gone very quiet at this moment in time. But it's the Butland deal, the Butland money, the Butland whatever, the Butland but. It just keeps to be, I don't know, just it keeps on running and running. Now, like I said to you, if Manchester United do offer him double his wages, then he has that decision to make. Does he want to try and come and compete for first team football, which he realistically possibly could, maybe get at Rangers, or does he want to go stay at Manchester United where he's got zero chance of playing any first team Premier League football? He may be able to play like the Carabao Cup, which is the English League Cup, but I don't think he'll get minutes in anything else. At the end of the day, I think he needs to make a decision. Does he want to play football, or does he want to just get the money? That's the big decision for me when it comes to Jack Butland. But it just seems for me, it's from 1 minute to the next. This story is constantly fluxing, changing. You don't know what to believe anymore, do you? It's just all a bit loopy. Like I said, and I've said on the video yesterday, I said on the video last night, I've said on loads of different videos, this whole transfer business is utterly mental at this moment in time, isn't it? Rangers linked with Palmer, Rangers linked with Cifuentes, Rangers linked with Shankland, Rangers linked with Ollie McBurney, Rangers linked with Jonathan Panzo, Rangers linked with Austin Trusty, Rangers linked with Kieran Dowell, which looks like it probably will get done now. But it's all a bit mental, isn't it? It's all absolutely mental. It does look to me that the Cifuentes deal is pretty close from what I've been finding out. Go back and I did drop a video last night on that. If you get a chance, go back and check that out after this video here. So for the Cifuentes link video with some information about Jose Cifuentes, the LAFC player, the Ecuador international. Now, given the fact that his agent was in the crowd at Ibrox and was given special VIP treatment, the fact that Cifuentes, it is strongly rumored now coming out of LA that he is on the verge of signing, that Fabrizio Romano, who is one of the top football insiders in terms of these transfer rumors, is saying that it's pretty much a done deal. I think is good news. And someone like Cifuentes, I think, will add some quality and some depth to this squad. And that's what you need. Like I said in the video last night, you need good quality, good strength in depth. He's been described as a terrific midfielder. He's been described as someone who could really make a difference for Rangers. He's someone who will provide quality, and that's what we need. We need to build up that quality. We need to build up the quality within not just the first team, but within the squad as well. If we're going to compete with that lot from across the city, if we're going to annoy them and really, put them back in their place, put them back in their box where they belong, we need to go out and get quality, to get depth. And that's what Cifuentes will bring. Obviously, along with the signing of Dujon Sterling, which was pretty much done, and Kieran Dowell as well. Obviously, one of the things that is kind of worrying at this moment in time for Rangers fans, and lots of you have commented this in the comments on all these videos that I've put out, and had the phenomenal response. Thank you for your fabulous response. Is strikers? What's going on with strikers? Obviously there is it's 99.9% certain that obviously Alfredo Morelos will leave at the end of the season. There is obviously now a high chance as well that that Antonio Čolak may be on the move. Now, Čolak has got a new agent, and you kind of do that when you're looking for either a new deal, which he isn't looking for, or you're looking for a move. And that's what Čolak's done. And there's strong rumours coming out of the club that Michael Beale is prepared to allow Čolak to leave because he doesn't see him as a type of player that fits his system. He doesn't see him as a player for him. He wasn't the manager who brought him in, and I don't think he sees him as having a future at the club. So if Čolak leaves, what's the answer? That gives us with pretty much no strikers, as we're seeing at the moment, where Fashion and Matondo are having to play up front. So that is the worrying thing for me. It does seem very quiet, in terms of official moves for strikers. Yes, we've had links to Josh Madger, which is all up in the air because obviously the French league season hasn't finished yet. We've had links to Gilles Perrault, the Swansea player, but that's obviously gone a bit quiet at the moment. Links to Lawrence Shankland, again, that's gone quiet. Duke, again, links to him, but again, gone quiet. There doesn't seem to be a lot of movement around those forwards. So that's what I'm really looking for from Rangers over these next weeks, days, etc. As we move towards the season. Where are we going with the striker problem? We need, if Čolak doesn't move on, we need 2 strikers minimum to come in. If Čolak does move on, we're going to need at least 3 strikers. And do we have the budget there to go out and get those players? That's the debate we need to kind of have as a fan base, because Čolak, whilst not being the best centre forward in the world, it would definitely provide a bit of depth to that, a bit of strength in depth. He's not brilliant, but he's not terrible. He is a solid player who comes in and does a job every so often for us, and I think could have a part to play going forward. But obviously, a lot depends on what he wants to do and what the club will want to do with him. Obviously, yesterday, the 18th, was the year's anniversary of the Europa League final against Eintracht Frankfurt in Seville. Loads of videos and clips and stuff about that on social media. Still very hard to watch back those highlights and to all that game and that penalty shootout. Obviously, absolutely heartbreaking. Given all the hard work we've done to get there. And the fact we just came up short and never really playing our best in the final, in my opinion. So, it was obviously that year's anniversary of that yesterday. But like I said, at this moment in time, it is a absolutely mental time in terms of transfer links, in terms of transfer speculation. And I think, as someone commented on one of my videos earlier, until that person's got the scarf above their head and they're stood outside Howie or outside Ibrox or wherever and been officially announced, we kind of got to take all these rumours with that little tiny pinch of salt, haven't we? That it might be a bit of an agent hyping up to try and get a move for his client or an improved deal for his client, or just newspapers being newspapers, been kind of troublemakers, been kind of I don't know, clickbait and selling papers, etc., etc. So we've got to obviously look at that with a little bit of a pinch of salt, don't we? A pinch of salt there. Okay, obviously we are preparing to face Hibernian on Sunday in the Scottish Premier League. Hibernian currently 5th in the table on 48 points. Played 35 this season, 14 wins, 6 draws, 15 defeats, including that last time out we played them, that 4-1 victory at Easter Road. And again, we return to Easter Road on Sunday. Hibernian also have a negative goal difference and have won one and drawn one of their last 2 matches. Last time out, Hibernian took on Aberdeen and drew 0-0 with Aberdeen. The time before that, Hibernian beat St Mirren 2-1, the first game after the split. Lee Johnson obviously has got them playing some decent football, but I'm confident that Rangers go out there, they play the way they played on Saturday, against Celtic. They give Cantwell the chance to impress. They got the similar sort of team and a similar attitude. That I can only see one result, and that'd be a victory for Rangers on Sunday. Obviously, we'll bring you more news and more build, but the closer we get, obviously, it is Thursday day. Obviously, once we get to Friday and Saturday, we will be obviously previewing the game in a bit more depth. But it's going to be a game where, again, it will be tough, I think, for the first few minutes, as it was at Easter Road last time out. They will come out, they will try and play us. Maybe they've learned though. Maybe they've learned that they can't come out and have a go at us like they did at Easter Road, and they may play with a slightly different style. I don't know how Lee Johnson is intending to move up, but I think the team will be put out there will be strong enough. There are strong rumours that Scott Wright will get the opportunity to play on Sunday, and he will have some role, whether it be through the middle or as a part of a front three. That is obviously one thing that has been strongly rumoured coming out of the club. Scott Wright has also been linked with a move to Preston North End this summer. He's still under contract, so any move for Wright would actually command a fee and would bring in some useful money to Rangers moving forward into next season. I think that's another thing we've obviously got to consider. We do need player sales to raise funds, and hopefully those funds will then be reinvested into that transfer budget for Michael Beale to bring in the players that he wants ready for next season. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this morning. If you've got any thoughts or comments, please put them below, drop them below, and I'll reply to you as soon as I possibly can. And also remember, on Saturday night, we have a Q&A podcast coming up where it's your questions featured on the screen, and I will answer your questions. There is a community post within the Glasgow Rangers Nation YouTube page. Go into it, click on community. That's the thing. It's the first post that's up there. Type your question. What I'll do is I'll screenshot your question, put it up on the screen on Saturday, and do my very best to answer your question. And I'm sure with a live chat as well, we'll contribute their answers as they read the question. So please come in and tune in for that. Well, it is, like I said, a pretty mental time as we move towards the end of the season. Speculation is rife, rumours are rife, and like I've said in this video and in yesterday's videos, we need to, I think, just take everything with a little bit of a a bit of calmness, a bit of coolness. Think about, the fact that this is the silly season and we are going to be linked with every man and his dog, given the fact we do need that major rebuild. We do need that retool over this summer to put us in a position to really compete with that lot from across the city. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. This has been your daily news update. Please hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and if you can give this video a like, it would help matters. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back to speak to you very soon here on the channel, Glasgow Rangers Nation.